If the internet is gonna close tomorrow, then you after this video will be equipped with all the information you need to start a proper human diet, a raw meat based diet to achieve top tier health. We'll go through where to get your food from, the parasites, bacteria, how to start, how to maintain a raw meat based diet, okay? But before you click off this video, let me show you why a raw meat based diet is a proper human diet exactly, okay? Because it may sound controversial to you if it's like the first time that you hear it. So let me go through the benefits, because I've been eating like this, a raw meat based diet, for 9 months now, and I've tried all the diets because I've been studying nutrition for 5 years now. And I literally tried all the ways of eating: balanced diet, carnivore diet, keto, even intermittent fasting, a bit of vegan at some point. And after experimenting with myself, researching studies, and also helping other people with nutrition to see the result, I've come to the conclusion that humans are meant to have a raw meat based diet. And here is why. First off, this is also scientifically proven: if you cook your meat or your food in general, you're gonna destroy or reduce the nutrients. Depends on how much you cook it here though. And also you make the food less digestible, because in the case of meat, for example, you destroy especially the heat soluble vitamins such as vitamin C or the vitamins B, because it's logical, of course, that fire destroys and denatures. If you put your food in fire, obviously you destroy it. It just makes sense like that. Don't even need a study to show that, but there are studies that show this anyways. And you also reduce other minerals, you make the food less digestible, as I said, because raw meat, for example, or raw eggs has digestive enzymes that are naturally found in those foods to help you digest the food, and that's why raw meat will be easier to digest. I even noticed this on myself comparing raw meat to cooked meat. Raw meat is like far more easy to digest, I would say. And besides that, you also destroy the structured water, because obviously when you cook it, the water goes away, and you destroy the beneficial bacteria. You even create toxic compounds, cancerogens or lipid peroxides when you cook it, which damage your health long term. They create AGEs, which cause glycation, they age you faster. So lots of bad things happen when you cook the food. Nobody can deny this. So because of all of this, some benefits that you will notice on a raw meat based diet when you stop cooking your meat, and especially when you eat like many animal products, eggs, raw meat, butter, raw dairy, all these things, you will notice that you gained much more energy from the nutrients, of course, because you don't destroy them anymore, don't reduce them. Besides that, you will look better, because obviously the nutrients, will help you look better. You can see here my transformations, for example, my transformation, how I used to look and how I look now on this way of eating. You'll also put on bone mass, muscle mass. Here's my physique, for example, and I don't even work out like that often. I've worked out in the past, but now I maintain all my muscle mass like this. Besides that, your mood will become better, of course, because of the nutrients. Again, you will be happy, no more depression, anxiety. You will also get rid of health problems, because you stop consuming other toxins, from foods, such as like processed foods, first off. So, lots of cool benefits by eating this way. That's why it is worth it, totally worth it to eat this way. I also have like other people that I've put on this diet, and they have like amazing results, curing health problems and feeling way better, looking better. So yeah, now that I convinced you that this is the proper human diet, that you get like insane results on this way of eating than no other diet, then I will show you exactly how to start, okay? How to start eating raw meat, because there are some limiting beliefs often that people have, when it comes to this. For example, oh yeah, you'll get food poisoning and blah blah blah. And this is true, you can get food poisoning, but this only happens if you get your meat from a bad source. So the first step to start a raw meat based diet is to find a good source of meat, okay? I'll tell you three steps to starting, and after that I'm gonna tell you like bonus tips here. So the first step is to find a good source of meat. Don't eat raw meat from the supermarket, at least not the raw meat with the fat. You can get sick, you can get food poisoning, because the animals that are raised there, that are brought to the supermarkets, obviously they're raised in factories, and they're sick, they're unhealthy, because they're usually fed crap food. They are kept in cages, so the animal is stressed, they are vaccinated, medicated with all this bunch of bullshit. So obviously these types of animals are unhealthy, they are sick, they have toxins inside of you. I mean, not inside of you, inside of them. And of course, if you eat those animals, if you eat their meat, you will get sick, you'll absorb the toxins, and you'll get food poisoning as a result of that. So the first step, most important step, is to find a good source of meat. Don't eat randomly from the supermarket. I mean, from Some supermarkets from some countries you could find, you know, good quality meat at there, but in most places you wouldn't. It's gonna be a low quality. So this is why I recommend either butcher shops, you know, local butchers, or farmers market, for example. Yeah, farmers market, or setting some deal with farmers that have, you know, meat. They raise animals. For example, what I do is I get my meat from a local butcher shop where they bring good meat. You just go there, like for example, you go to butcheries and you ask, like, how are the animals, you know, raised, how are they fed, how are they, you know, kept, whatever, and you can get the answers. The key here is to look for ideally grass-fed meat that is grass-fed. In the case of beef here, because grains are not so ideal, you know, they make the animals sick, you know, they fatten them up like excessively. And yeah, you gotta look for grass-fed beef, no antibiotics, no medication, stuff like that. So they are also like raised, you know, with free space, they can roam around, you know, be healthy. That's something that you gotta look for. So usually for most butcheries they would be okay. Even if it's grain-fed, it may still be alright, you know, in some cases, if you don't have like any other option. Usually you can tell by the color of the fat in the meat. For example, if it's yellow, golden like that, it's grass-fed, and if it's like whitish, you know, the fat, then it's grain-fed. So you can tell by that. So the first step, just get a good source, go to a butcher shop or to a farmer and set a deal. You give him money and he gives you like meat when he slaughters animal. You can do it like that. And same for the raw milk, you can find, you know, places like that at the farmers market, and you can ask ChatGPT. The best way to find source is just ask ChatGPT like good quality meat, grass-fed meat around me, or raw milk, or yeah, raw eggs. You can even get the raw eggs from the supermarket. For example, if they're code 1 or 0, just look for the code there, which means that the chickens are healthier. If not, get it like from a farmer's market if you can, you know, that would be even more ideal. But not if not, you can get it from the supermarket too. Same for raw milk. You have a site, by the way, here regarding the source. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. For raw milk, for example, if you want to start drinking raw milk, you have a site here, raw milk near me. You can find some sources there with the meat, like I told you, from the butcher shop or the farmers, you know, just ask ChatGPT. You can even order from some places online. And yeah, that's basically it regarding sources. Now another thing, for example, if you can't find good quality meat at all, then what I would recommend to you is to eat poor quality meat but without the fat, because like I told you, the toxins are getting stored in the fat and in the organs, usually if the animal is unhealthy. So you can still eat meat from the supermarket as long as you eat only the muscle meat, only the, you know, red part, the lean part, and you cut out the fat and you add extra fat like some butter, you know, besides it, so you still get some fat on, because it's very important. And yeah, you basically do it like that. You also can grab, for example, a knife. If you buy supermarket meat, you grab a knife and you just scrape like the exterior of it. So maybe it has some industrial chemicals on it. Sometimes if it's like from the factories, you scrape it like that with a knife, so you get rid of them a bit. And that's what I recommend doing if you're gonna get your meat from a poor quality source, if you don't have any source. And yeah, that's it regarding the source. Now the second step is to start eating raw meat, of course, but here's the key thing: start gradually, because at the beginning you may not be used to eating raw meat, because all your life you've been eating cooked food. Of course, your body doesn't know how to eat raw foods anymore like it's meant to be. So the step here, the, you know, advice is to start eating gradually. Don't start with 1 kilogram of like raw meat a day necessarily. If your body can handle it, then sure, you can do that, but for most people it's okay to just start gradually. Don't need to start like raw, you know, 100% like from the start. You can just eat like 100 grams of meat the first day, and then you just, you know, slowly increase the quantity. You add 100 grams the next day, 100 grams, and so on, until you get to the point that you are fully raw, on a fully raw animal-based diet. Until then, you can just alternate between cooked and raw. Or you could even start with a cooked animal-based diet at first. You start eating more cooked meat, cooked eggs, so your body also gets, you know, used to a lot of fat. And after like a few weeks, 1 month, you start eating raw too. That's also gonna be a good progression, a good level up. If you've been eating like a processed foods diet all your life, it's still gonna be good. And after that, you start with raw. But if you can start with raw all of like at once, like from the start, then you can do that. I recommend doing that. You're gonna just make things faster. So that would be the step 2. Just start gradually, so your body can get used to it. At the beginning, you can also have some transition effects, like some nausea, diarrhea from eating this way. This also happens like from every other diet, so don't be scared. It's just normal. It happened to me too at the beginning. And yeah, that's basically step 2. Now for step 3, would be to just be patient. Like I told you at the beginning, you can notice some transition effects. You can get diarrhea, nausea, or some detoxification symptoms. You may not be fully used to the raw meat. For some people, it's not a big issue. They just start eating raw meat. Yeah, they're fine like from the get-go, and they have no issues. But for some people, they can have like more transition effects. So just be patient with it. Give it time. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna start eating raw meat. You start the first day, you get diarrhea or something. As long as you got your meat from a good source, and then you could. No, don't do that. Just give it time. Give it like at least 1 month or so your body can get used to it, and just keep eating like that progressively, and you see that you will notice the benefits. For most people, it will be instantly. From the first few days, they will notice like they get more energy, they start to look better and stuff. That's what I noticed for me too. Like on the first few days, holy shit, I felt high, literally so euphoric, and also so much energy, and also this sex drive. I just got this testosterone boost in the first few days. So yeah, just give it time and you'll see the benefits kicking in. For some it's slower, for some people it's faster. So that's it. And this is the 3-step. Be patient, be consistent, don't cheat, don't just start eating raw meat and after that you go back to sugar or all this kind of stuff. No, just be consistent and give it time. If you're more strict, then you'll see better results. You'll heal faster and you'll get healthier faster, okay? This is the thing. And now I told you these 3 steps to start a raw meat based diet, but now I'm gonna also tell you other things that you have to keep in mind, okay? Other bonus tips, because there are also some important things that you gotta hear about. First off is the fact that, for example, what do you do if you don't like the taste of raw meat? Which is pretty common, I would say. For most people, they like the taste from the first try. They like the taste of raw meat. Depends on what cut you also get, what type of raw meat, but for most people they like it. But for some people, they tell me that they don't like this taste of raw meat. I mean, not the taste, but they have this gag reflex, and stuff. And this only comes down from 2 reasons, okay? Because here's the thing, raw meat naturally isn't disgusting. Humans are also animals, of course, you can tell that, and animals obviously eat meat raw, not cooked. So raw meat is just meat in its natural state. Of course that it's good tasting. If you don't find the taste good, then it's a problem to you, not to the meat itself. Because I like meat. Most people that eat like me like the raw meat. They like the taste of it because it is good. It is like okay, decent, especially the organs are very tasty. But if you don't like it, then that means only 2 things. First off is the fact that you've been just brainwashed and you have this mental thing that you've been told that raw meat is disgusting and it's unhealthy and blah blah blah, so you associate it with like unhealthiness and disgust. When you eat raw meat, you get this gag reflex. Oh fuck, it's raw meat, it's disgusting, I don't want to eat it. So you have this in your brain. This is like one reason. And the second reason would be because you are unhealthy. Your taste buds have been altered from processed foods, because most of us, even myself included, I've been eating a processed food based diet for most of my life. Okay, I've been eating like junk food, sugar, McDonald's, all this kind of bullshit. So when you eat these foods, obviously your taste buds gonna be altered, because these foods are made in labs. They are made specifically to hijack your taste buds. So they're very good tasting, they give you a very big stimulus, so you like them more, so you buy them more and you become addicted to them and you buy them more and make them more money. So of course your taste buds will be altered if you eat these foods. You are not used to how real food tastes like, because real food tastes good. There's not a problem with that. Like I told you, raw meat is just meat in its natural state. Of course meat is good, meat tastes good to us because we're carnivores. And the second reason that you won't like it is because you are sick. Your body is toxic and your taste buds are altered. You've been used to eating processed foods which are good tasting, better tasting than what your body is naturally used to. So this way you won't be liking raw meat in comparison to processed sugar, McDonald's, all these stimulating foods like I told you. So this is the reason you gotta just cut out the processed foods. Maybe at first you start with a cooked animal based diet like I told you, so you get used to real food, because cooked meat is more appetizing. And after that you just start eating raw meat after you cut out the processed foods for a few weeks, and now your taste buds are back to normal. You appreciate real food again and you won't crave like bad food anymore. So this way it's time to try again, or you may, for example, start at the beginning. You can try putting some seasoning on top or some honey, whatever it does the job, to make you get used to eating raw meat. You can also do that at the beginning if it helps, or you switch it, like you combine it with other foods, even though like there are bad foods like bread or pasta or whatever, you combine them, you make recipes. So this way at least you eat raw meat, even though it's like with bad foods, it's still gonna be better than nothing. Or you also have this option to do shakes. For example, you do just protein shakes. You put, for example, raw milk, raw eggs, you put some raw liver in the shake or some raw meat, and with some honey you put it in the blender, and this way you won't even, you know, catch the taste. You won't even feel the taste of raw meat. You have nothing to complain about that, because it's like a protein shake. You put the honey, it's gonna be sweet. So you can just get your food like that, your raw meat intake like that at the beginning, until you also get used to it. Besides that, so you also get nutrients, it's still gonna help you. So this is what I recommend. If you don't like the taste, you make combinations like this, or you put seasoning, you know, whatever, or you just go to a cooked animal based diet at first. You reset your taste buds, you get healthy in this way first, and after that you try again with the raw meat based diet. Okay, so this is another thing. And the third thing, it's with bacteria and parasites, because this is also a concern. Okay, most people say that, yeah, you can get bacteria, parasites, you'll get sick, you'll get these worms in your brains and blah blah blah, and you will, you know, get sick long term, which is not true, because like I told you, all that matters is the source. I made a video about this with the parasites and bacteria. You can watch it here, you can see, I'll put it on the screen, you can watch it later. It's gonna be very useful. But here's the thing, let me tell you, so it's the source that matters. I see nobody getting sick from raw meat. I'm just gonna tell you this. I've been eating for 9 months, I don't get sick. There are other influencers that have been eating like this for years, they don't get these things. So it's not true. If it was true, then it would happen to most people, but it doesn't. So this proves that, you know, it's only the source that matters. You gotta get your food from a good source, like I told you. That's why I told you this step 1, which is very important, and you'll be fine. You won't get food poisoning unless you get your meat from a bad source from the supermarket. And we even have studies that show bacteria and parasites are good, basically, that they treat autoimmune diseases, which is very interesting. You can just check out that video that I told you about, that I made, and you'll see for yourself that you'll be lied to about these things. At the end of the day, just give it a try, you know, start eating like I told you, you know, just be open-minded and try like some raw meat, and you'll see what happens. You'll see on your body. Okay, don't trust other people, don't trust me, just trust your body. Start eating like this from a good source, and you'll see what happens. You'll see that suddenly you gain more energy, your digestion is better, you know, after a few days, after a few weeks, you know, on this diet, and you feel better. That's the only thing that matters, you know. Just try it out, because what's the worst it can happen? You've seen me eat raw meat even on the camera. I've done lives on TikTok on my old account, so you can't say that I'm fake and I don't eat like this. Even if you take like a small bite of raw meat, come on, you won't die or something. So just let your limiting beliefs, your fears out of the side. It's normal though. At the beginning I also had them, and just try it out. It's gonna change your life. I promise. I give you my promise here, my word. And yeah, that's all I had to say regarding this, on how to start a raw meat based diet. Now, if you want more help on the application of this information, if you would like to reclaim your health in 90 days to make more progress than with the videos that I make here, because here I set the goal to just give all the information for free. I'm not gonna sell courses to you and other stuff. I'm just gonna give all the information for free. I'm gonna make full guides like this from now on, you know, valuable guides to give you all the information so you can change your life. But if you need help on the application so you can reclaim your health in 90 days, make faster progress, get healthier faster, so you can have energy, you know, look like a beast, feel like a beast, and overall live longer without health problems, then you can check out my one-on-one health mentorship. I'm gonna just guide you directly, I'm gonna mentor you, I'm gonna give you all my support so I can make sure that you win. Okay, if you want to check that out, and yeah, you're curious about that, you want to work with me, then just click the second link in the description, or the link in the pinned comment, and you can check that out. I'm gonna put all my effort so you can make 10 times more progress. So you can make 10 times more progress in your health journey. Okay, so that's a little bonus that I have for you here in case you are open to that. So yeah, that was it with the video. Like I told you, check out this video with the bacteria and parasites if you're curious to learn more about this and why you've been lied to, and you'll see exactly the truth.